All right. I got tired of waiting. So here we are. Everybody's here anyway, so why not? But I was sitting here thinking, yes, we have a cat today. He was there when I was getting ready, and then as soon as I actually was ready, he left. And then right before I hit the go live button, he decided to jump up here. So he's just messing with me. He ate the squirrel. You know, I have been having a stray cat problem past couple months or so, I guess, at this point. There he goes. There's just so many of them wandering around the neighborhood that I think they have run off all of my squirrels. Normally there would be about 3 or 4 squirrels right there right now, just munching on the peanuts, but ran them all off because the cat will be just like right there waiting for them. Worth the wait. Some birds might come around. It's pretty wet out there today. We finally got some rain. Only took about 3 months to get here. But anyway, we're gonna work on that dungeon/temple that we talked about last week. So that's what I was just sitting here thinking about. You know, we were talking about, I like putting hallways in the maps, which I know does not structurally make sense if you look at the layout. So I was wondering, because I think hallways are good. They're good transition rooms, and you know, very video gamey, but they're like that for a reason. But I did kind of want to see. Like, I really don't care how this looks. This is going to be temporary. Gonna dip, so now I can make quesadilla. 1 minute of interaction. I had quesadillas just a few days ago. Very good. So anyway, this would be, we'll say your main room you walk in. People greet, hang out. Then your big old sanctuary might look something like this. Except there would be a wall there with a door. And then, what do we have? Like, you'd have offices down here. Okay, this ain't gonna work like that. I'm gonna have to do it. I have to do it like this. Alright. So your main room, your sanctuary, and then you'd have offices. This could be your library right here. And then this could be your moss room we talked about. And then this would be the bathhouse or whatever. See, it's kind of, I will say it's boring. Yes, that structurally makes sense, and that is what the building would look like in the real world, but I don't know. I like hallways. I think they're good for transitioning players into other rooms. Plus, you can hide things in the hallway too, like traps. Gotta run to a work meeting. Say, oh no, not Peter. He's leaving me. Hang out until then. And it's twice dead. What's up, man? Coffee machine in the entryway? Well, of course. I mean, if it's any kind of church, cemetery room. So. Anyway, that's why I like hallways, because that's boring. So, anyway, this is what I had worked on before last week. I started trying to make a map and then just didn't really get to it. But see, this one we can absolutely, I think I was using that wall. Just have this connect right to the sanctuary, because we do want kind of a big room there, or a direct shot to it. Was that 1, 2, 3, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. Whole place also had a walk space between your installation. All your hallways are giving me Metroid Prime Hunter's Flash. Isn't that the Game Boy Advanced one? I never played that. Or I never had it. I played it once, multiplayer with somebody, had it at the tech school I was at. secret passages between walls. So then you need hall. Yeah. I think hallways are good. Nintendo DS. Yeah, that's what I meant. The double screen thing, which I guess is what DS stands for. And the bad guy, from what I understand, I know I'm supposed to be the Metroid fan here. I forget his name. He's purple. He was the bad guy from that series. That is what Metroid Prime actually leads up to. And I believe he's in the upcoming Metroid Prime 4. Every single room is connected with hallways to hide background. Like, well, yeah, I mean, that's how a lot of Super Metroid was, too. There's a lot of hallways. That's, since we're listening to Mega Man music, that is why Mega Man had those doors at the end of every level. To load in the boss and everything, I believe, as well as their slow transition things too. Those old school loading tricks from back in the day. Alright, so we got... I'm going to put... I know that's the sanctuary. So we have... Let me look at my cheat sheet here we made last week. We got a library, bathhouse, offices, the dining hall, and the kitchen, and then the moss room. So, oh, well, and of course, the toilet, right? We gotta have that. So, there's our bathroom. Gotta have that. Now you can make some hallways with the structure. There's nothing wrong with that. And this, you know what? Let's say that is the moss room. And I believe it was supposed to have a little hidden. Little secret room. Alright, and so I remember which room this is. Uh-oh. Well, I thought it crashed. I just accidentally clicked out. I'll just throw a fountain in there real quick. So I will remember. Alright. And the library. I'm kind of off center here. What was it, Blaze? It was a game for the Wii or the Wii U, one of the two. It had red in the name. It wasn't Red Dead Redemption. Red Steel, I think it was. And I believe it was Red Steel 2 that did some shenanigans with connecting rooms. There was this animation you went through from opening a door and transitioning into the next one, and that was actually that was just for loading purposes. So you never had to really stop, despite stopping to watch an animation, but it looked smooth. That was actually kind of a fun game. Alright, where do we want to put library? I'm going to do this. Change map size. There we go. And this is just where the players start. A little loading room. See, now y'all got me trying to make this make somewhat structural sense. Shame on you. Seeing if I can have hallways and be semi-structurally sound. Hallways have reliefs or mosaics carved in to tell a story between. That's also a good one. So this can be like a little lounge right here, right? We'll just... looks like a toilet. Ooh, big chair. Alright. That way I know what that's for. I really wish Dungeon Draft had a doodle pen that you could just pull out and scribble with. Really, really do. That way we know what that's for. Alright. Oh, you're supposed to take prime number of steps between rooms as a custom. Can't just leave a room and enter a new one. That might break fast luck. Oh, jeez. We could... Alright. Let's do this. Bookcases. That way I know this is the library. Bathroom and a map? You gotta have the bathroom. Okay. Let's... You know what? Yep. Make it a slightly bigger bathroom. That way I can have a bigger hallway here. And that'll be your transitional room. I don't know how big that needs to be. Boop, boop. But I want to say this can be some offices. Right? A little office space. Counseling rooms, maybe? Ooh, big old chair. Double-decker outhouse. Poop with friends. Alright, and then... What other room did I have? I know I got the bathhouse. Bathhouse, we got the offices, library, the dining. The dining, that's right. Okay. We can make this work. We can make this work. Maybe. I think I blew it. No. I got it. I got it. That would be a monstrous kitchen. Distraction sent on Discord. Oh no. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, I don't like this though. That needs to be the dining hall. That needs to be the kitchen, but to go through the kitchen to the dining hall is silly. So... what if we... a monstrous kitchen to cook monsters. Very good. Double servant quarters, recreations. That's true, that's true. I'm thinking... this is how you get to, say, dining hall. And then kitchen is back here. So like And if you were making, you know, a real structure, this would be a structural wall, which means this wall would have to line up with it, and then this one, depending on what you did in here, might need to go up with that. But so table, a big old table. Do we have like? Maybe not. A green table. What does a squirrel know about structural engineering? Well, more than you would think. There's your big old dining hall. Squirrel knows a few engineering things, unfortunately. Load-bearing wall. There's your technical term. Can't even remember where the buried nuts at. Structural. Oh man. Do I have urban? I can't spell urban. Let's see. Alright. There's the oven monster. Such a silly fight. And this will be the bathhouse, I guess. Let's see. Let me go back to the cheat sheet here. Kitchen, dining hall, moss room, got it. Library, got it. Bathhouse, working on it. Offices. Yeah, all right. That's it. Said I should follow in his. It says he said structural engineering is all fast car. I'm here to tell you it is not. At least not here, anyway. Poor engineers can't get a job for nothing. Granted, I mostly worked with mechanical engineers, but we had structural ones too. And they were all bald by the time they were 25. Let's see. If I bring this out to here, that's just gonna be whoop too wide and silly. However, put that load-bearing wall right there again. Look at there. Could have water over here, and then what would you have over here? You said something about a servant quarters or recreational. Jokes on him. I studied a much more economical discipline of philosophy and became a software designer. Oh. That goes, man. I don't know what to do with this room. Where is... Wooter. What could be over here? Or maybe the water's over here. And something else over here? Or maybe one's a pool and one's a hot spring. Ooh. Might be cool. Also got this to deal with. This is a big old hallway. Alright, well. Problem for later. But we can start dressing this up a little bit. Not gonna worry about the floor yet. Alright. I was thinking. And I know what this is. Of course, this place is old and run down. So, do we have... We don't have a broken round table? broke. I guess not. Anyway, Peter, if you're still here, you stoked about your fully funded Tales from Elsewhere? Feeling good? I imagine it does. Yeah, well, this one looks at least a little worn. For a few more minutes, alright. There's a cat back there. We're gonna have a chair that looks a little worn. Let's see, this goes to the library. So I have an idea. And I realized something I should have done. Put those on two. Very stoked. The real work begins. Getting tired of all your fake work. That's right. Oh man, do I not have like a smaller bookshelf? Seriously? Huh. Alright. I have large corner bookshelf and extra large bookshelf. Goodness. This is like temporary books. That needs to be boop, 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 boop. Bring to front. Oh, maybe a rug would have been. Oh no, there's carpet. Burnout year has ended. Long live the burnout year. At least get that 35K, then I can print some of those STL files for scrap. I don't know if you saw the bullet dice he had, but they were really cool. Ooh, big ad spots pending for the final week. Is that your Bob the Builder one? Or was that supposed to be a secret? Oh no, I ruined everything. Ah. Now, do you have a carpet just under the table? Or do you have it like that? Doesn't need a shadow. This is just, you know, chill little lounge area before you get to the library. Do you like bullet dice? I have some 9mm, 5.56. One specific for TFT looked pretty neat. They were very neat. Bob's already launched. Oh, that's right, because people were, I remember they were talking about it. Trakiros is doing one, and he gets mad views. I don't even know who that is. Gotta go be a businessman. Run a business meeting. Oh, terrible. Well, we'll see you around. Tell you what, man. I don't miss meetings. I still have some, but they're like, you know, usually with friends. Trying to figure out a project we actually want to work on. Instead of those silly meetings of how do we run this report to make our numbers look good. Really? No rugs in here. Huh. stairs. Oh, these would have been nice for the TFE one shot we did around the house. I didn't have these at the time. I kind of scrambled to get that map together. I was kind of wanting a bit of a pathway through it, but I can do that with the floor, like the tiles and stuff. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Right. So, I'm really... Oh, well, there they are. Merchant shelf, not bookshelf. Okay. I mean, they look like books. Alright, so I definitely... Because these take up too much space. Merchant shelf. Silly. So silly. Oh, see, and this would be a great spot for a secret room. Like in between the bookshelves, have a little something, you just bloop. But I already have a hallway over there. More books. Well, the bookshelf was taking up too much space. How about that? Not the books themselves. It was a bulky shelf. Of course, this is an abandoned place, so would there be a vase with a plant in it? A candle thing there. Pull the candle. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Make that one kind of hang out the wall. A door handle. I mean, sure. Dead plant pot. Well, I mean, you can... Oh. What's another word for vase or pot? Bowl. Yeah. You can, like, put this there, and then... put something dead in it. Like that. Yeah, there's dead. I thought I had different vases than that, though. Because I used them in the pyramid map I made recently. It might have been a different asset pack, but... Matter of fact, it was, I think, because, yeah, I was working on that, then got a new computer and lost those assets and could not find them again. Oh, there's birds out there now. Yeah, you can kind of see them. Oh, yeah. All kind of... Oh, there they went. Something scared them. Ah, they're back. Birds. Cat's missing out. Planter maybe, or crate. Yeah, no, there's a specific one I'm thinking of that I used to have. Let me put it in an urn. Okay, we have open urns on the side, but not the top. Grave. Oh. Here's a casket, but we're going to use those as moss troughs, planters. That's why I like the kind of the low detail stuff, because then you can use them for different things. And people are like, oh yeah, that totally looks like that. Because their imagination has to fill it in. And I guess you could just use that. Boop. But now I'm trying to remember what that asset pack was that had those in there. Shoot, I guess you could use that. And that's a chimney. Imagination. How dare. Yeah. Yeah, crate was a good call. Then you can just... Actually, I guess you can make it like a weird color. To make it look like a pottery. And then... Do I have like dirt pile? That is dirt pile, but... not... Oh, planter dirt. Oh, see, we can just slap that right in the coffin I was telling you about. Planter. There you go. There's plate. Interesting. Nothing round. All rectangle. Okay, well that's fine. Let's do... Oh, that's tiny. Nice when a plan comes together. Little Hannibal from the A-Team. I love it when a plan comes together. But the thing is, do we want living plants? The moss room's gonna be full. Or do we just want, like, stuff kind of growing everywhere? I was thinking more of a little end table kind of thing right here. Like leaving notes on or something, a quick drop for a book. A-Team. Yeah, I watched that back in the day. Never watched the new movie, which isn't new anymore. How much is the moss going everywhere? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I forgot to put shadows on my bookshelves. Oh no. I'm 50-50 on the shadows. I feel like they kind of get in the way, overrun each other. There's a little candle. There we go. That's all I want. You did have all the space between rooms and more hallways the moss could be growing between, and the walls could make the walls sweat water. Ooh. You know, this is going to be a gigantuar library. And say if we make the bookshelves big, then the books are big too. Doesn't make a lot of sense. We can do this though. Oh, you can't even see the shadow in that case. Oh, boo. It's just a little too long. But we could move the door. Those are human books. library could have the shelves that are rails. So you move them and then they're just getting squished. Human books. Oh look, and that like almost a perfect fit. Do we? Yeah. This is with this weird sizing. Let's do this. Actually, let me. And then that. Now, how tacky does this look? If I... Can I just move this? I can't. Okay. Oh, well, apparently I can. Why did that wall shift like that? Oh, my wall's doing weird. My walls do... Oh, I think I know why. Hold. And now just get rid of it. Okay. Alright. They still haven't fixed that. Okay. I do see up here in the corner that there is an update available, but I cannot let go of this door. I can't delete the door either. Okay. What if I do that? Get rid of it that way. Let's see, let's... Why is undo not working? You can see it up there flashing and it's not doing anything. I'm struggling. Alright. That's all I wanted to do. And it got rid of my wall again. Oh, I need a new map making tool. It's swords and stones. Oh, it still thinks that wall is there. Interesting. I am here to tell you it is not. Swords and stones. Okay. So if I do... Yeah. Interesting. Alright, why can't I... Okay. This thing's like really bugging out. Let me do this. Let me close this out and reload it. It's having a bad day. Now the whole room is gone. Okay. That might be a good thing. Okay, and it is legitimately gone. Okay. Like I said, that might be a good thing. Nope. And it still thinks that's there. It's acting squirrely. Yeah, well, I think squirrels act a little better than this. At least the undo kind of works. That's so weird. So if I go this way, then that way. So if I put a door over here, okay. I'm starting to detect a pattern. Interesting. Each wall individually. Yeah, but then they... Not that the players will see it, I don't think, but you can see how those don't really connect versus if you do this. See how they round the corners? So... This is very silly. If I go over it, then I have a double wall problem. Yeah, so then you have a door and a wall. And when you import that in, that causes issues in Foundry. Dungeon Scrawl is pretty cool. And I don't know why, as long as Dungeon Draft has been around, why this part of it is just so wonky. And I feel like it didn't used to be that way. Like they had an update a while back. Because see, if you use building tool and it automatically does that, then you start running into these issues. It's like, I've never used the room tool because it limits you. So if I do like you're saying, individual walls, like I said, the players aren't going to see those corners anyway. So that might be the way to go. Actually, I want that to be a big one. I think that's how that's supposed to work. Or is it supposed to be like... Because it looks like the door handle in the middle. I don't know. Who cares? Alright. Now I forgot what I was doing. Big old library. We could probably have bookshelves running down the middle too. Right? Merchant shelves, not bookshelves. Oh, here's just a plain one. Kind of do like that, or should they be bookshelves on rails? I don't know how to do that. But also, what are we doing? Let me check my cheat sheet here. The library. Puzzles, organizing the book a certain way, finishing the story in an unfinished book. Organize the book a certain way, which reveals a hidden compartment with a jar full of bookworms. Opening the bottle. Of course, we could, instead of that, we could just have like a table in the middle with the jar on it. Then like that way it's front and center. Players see it and like, oh, well there it is. But like clearly something's going to happen when we grab it. Which might not be the worst thing. So I need something to fill this room in. Like there would be more tables, right? For chilling. Reading. Something like that. Seems kind of weird. This is the hidden room for over here. Look. Oh, excuse me. It could be a hidden room for in here. If you wanted to have that, the book puzzle. And then that opens up the room with the jar of bookworms. And then we can just tack on another little extra room over here. It's no big deal. I kind of like the idea though of the bookworms being right in the middle. But then if they're down here, the worms can get out and the players have to go through the whole room. Choices. bookshelves rise from the floor randomly to try and block your movement. Yeah, you could do that. So you weren't here, I don't think, Swords and Stones, for when we were kind of plotting and scheming what's going on in these rooms. So the idea for this one was there's going to be a puzzle. You probably have to organize some books a certain way or something, but that revealed a hidden compartment which had a jar in it, and the jar was full of bookworms. But in the jar of bookworms was this thing you needed to open another door. And when you open the jar to get the thing, all the bookworms just boom, shoot out, and then all the books come alive. So you could leave the books, and then that would kick you in the butt later, or you could fight the books there. So now I'm wondering, like, should that room be down here, or should the jar just be, like, right out here in the open and just skip the whole organizing books puzzle? Yeah, bookworms. Enough yawning, you're tired? I know. Just snuck up on me. I see you could just have... Because like I said, that's front and center. The players see it, whereas you see the books and you're like, oh. And you tell them, like, yep, there's this many books on the table, and there's empty slots in the bookshelves. Then you have to like make up names for the books, and then they're like, oh, well, how do we try and organize them? Jar has a false bottom. Oh. I like that. You just lift the jar up and everything just... I'm sorry. Okay. We're doing that. We're doing that. But I still need... I want tables in here. Just kind of this round one. I got this weird thing over here. Well, I guess I could extend this down. Tuck this room over here. Couldn't have. Let's see. I'll get rid of you. Whoop. I gotta make sure I get this the right size, or a matching size, whatever. I guess there is no right size. Yeah, and then we'll... Yeah. I have a plan. I have a vision. The vision is not symmetrical. Alright. And you. And then we could probably rotate these. Would that make sense? Nah. Let's do this. That makes more sense. Why is that not? FKFU taking prints off the machine. Oh, I'm gonna start sending you goofy things to print. Now that I know you have a 3D printer. Alright. That's a big old library. Yeah. So yeah. I like this. that is the wrong button, Captain. They come in here and lift this up, and then they're just all four corners. Books. Wow. Come at them. Oh, that's great. Alright. Let's dress it up a little bit in here. So what, other than some chairs, what would be in the library? I'm going to draw a lot of cracks in the floors and like plant overgrowth. That's too much wood for me. These chairs are kind of big though. Big old chairs. Bench. Fancy sofa. That's the femme fatale sofa, and I refuse to believe otherwise. Little Egyptian ones. Man, we don't. Alright. We got a whole lot of option here. Man, I think Glee just warmed up her lunch. I smell something good. Yeah, I guess we can do this, and then like have a broken one here and there. Yeah. That's cool. Because things rot and they decay. Means I probably have a broken table. Why's that gotta be on the side? I want this. That's a desk. Got the drawers in it and everything. This one just fell over. Ah. How do we do the... I think I have to do a new one. Just fine. It needs to be on 2 anyway. Oh, I'm holding it. Slow rotate. There we go. That's the button I want. There we go. That does not need to be so huge. Does need to be on layer 1. Some scattered ripped books, writing. Yep. Yeah, like here's some of these books. Then another broken one. Round. No shadow. That's all I got. Excuse me. Oh, I could have used that for dirt earlier. Don't I have... Isn't there a table? Yeah, that has that on it already. I don't like it. I really thought I had more. Oh, wait. What? Do I not have... I got all the scron stuff turned on. Beds, cards, I don't know. Okay, cliffs, but I don't need that. Crypts, crystals, greenery, stone stuff, tree scrons. Where's... Well, I'm gonna need it later anyway. Hang on. Cartography. I could have swore I had this. Like Scront's food stuff. Let's see. Software specific dungeon draft. Scront. Well, that's not how you spell Scront. Scront food. Scront's Bakery and Scront's Fine Dining. That's the one I'm thinking of, but I'm going to grab both. I will say save that to custom assets and Scront's Bakery. I know y'all can't see this and it looks like I'm talking to myself, but hang tight. Now you've had to see some changes. Fine Dining. Scront's Bakery. And then we have to refresh it. Yeah! Much better. I have a tablecloth. Yep. All the assets. That's right. What you printing over there, Mustache? Look at there. It comes with extra toilets. Totally worth it. Matter of fact, now that we got that, it probably had some jars. Matter of fact, Mustache, we were talking about this earlier. This is the asset pack I was missing. It was Scront's Bakery and Fine Dining. It had bowls and pots and stuff I was using as big vases to put plants in the pyramid one shot I was doing. I knew we'd figure it out. A big scary behemoth thingy. So I guess you're printing it in several pieces? Alright. What's a cool looking jar? None of those. Bottle? So we'll need a different color. That just looks like a boob. Can't do that. What's another word? I'm blanking on the word. Ooh, I got bones. That's right. I downloaded that specifically for this. Body is one piece. One of the arms, the legs are separate. Very good. What do you use to, like... I think we were talking about this when you were here, but I can't remember. Do you print them where you can snap them together? Or do you have to, like, use some kind of fancy glue to hold everything? Or both? You frog. I want a really cool jar. Problem is I don't have the vision in mind of what I want it to look like. Could be a chest. Mimic. Yeah. Usually glue. They have fancy stuff that melds the plastic together in some cases. And for resin, some people use resin and cure it. Ooh, here's a... Why do all the glass bottles just look like boobs? I swear. Oh, these are only one color too. Well, that kind of stinks. I picked the wrong color for that too. Alright. So, I have an idea. This is called glass lid. Remember that. Right. So, let's do... change the color on this guy. Kind of red and dead looking. And then we'll need... we don't... I need to do some trickery here. I need something. Pretend to work now. See, it's swords and stones. Some figures have swappable pieces in you and big blue magnets. Yeah, that was the other thing I couldn't think of. I have seen that. The magnet thing's pretty cool, but then you like still gotta glue the magnets in place. But that is pretty handy, like if you want different types of arms or different heads for action figures, like one with the helmet, one without, or something like that. The different facial expressions. All right. It's a crystal they need, right? Is that what's opening the door? So we could put a crystal in there. Oh, I can color those. Yeah. So if I do that, and then crystal. That's right. I like some fancy crystal stuff going on here. I like crystals, but I'm not one of those crazy crystal ladies, so don't worry. A green, what about like neon green? That way it stands out. Yeah. I like this one. Oh, that's even smaller. Oh no. Okay, that's very weird looking, but it's okay. Then we want this on 3. That's a little hard to see. But I mean, you can tell the players it's in there. It's fine. Okay. That was a good idea he had. I like that. Oh. I got a better idea. Well, I mean, as far as making this look decent. Can we? Oh, that's under too much. let's do this. I need more, something more round. Stump. Put a stump in there. I mean, it's kind of what I'm going for. Whoa, I can't get anything in between. It is a giant stump after all. Okay. Interesting. So if do I have other variants? Smaller stumps? Medium. There we go. Large. Massive. Oh no. Going the wrong direction. Like, alright. I approve. Players better stand there and gaze in awe when they see that. Alright, so this goes... wall edit. Okay. So we can still have a little secret room right there. That is no big deal. Alright, moment of truth. What happens when I put doors on this one? Alright, it stayed put. No mystery walls disappearing. Okay, so we can do this. I think the caskets are gonna make better planters. Weird as that sounds. Mental damage if they don't go, oh, that looks so cool. There's so much detail on this vase thingy. This glass contraption. Alright, so this one we said... Where's my cheat sheet? Moss growing room. Possible encounters, plant or skeleton, a fountain of holy water, and then the moss. This is corrupted moss, and it is staying away from that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, excuse me. I guess I could rotate these to make them look a little different. Can't really tell. All right. Does that look like moss? Oh, well, here we go. Moss brick. Oh, it's so small. We have a bigger moss brick. Getting a little bigger. And you can't see the crates? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's as big as it can get, and it's stretched. I guess we could just put, like, clumps in there. You don't have, you know. You don't know that's a rock unless I tell you. It can just look like weird growth. Although, hold up. I mean, I guess water should be blue, but beside the point. I don't like type of water. See, you could do something like... Well, that doesn't really hit the corners, does it? That does. Fungus? Yeah. Not a single thing. Oh, you can change the color of that. I did not realize that. Interesting. So anyway, what I was thinking is like you could have some mixture of water and moss and some rocks in here maybe, because moss grows on rocks, right? So swamp terrain. All right, I think these are going to need to be on one. And then that way I could, whoop, not below water, but yeah, then you can have stuff under the water. I don't know. I'm thinking. And I had a thought, but I lost it. I don't know what you're growing there, but because if you're growing moss, it needs a lot of moisture, right? So, but that might be confusing because I was thinking you fill these up with water and rocks, and then you have the moss everywhere, and then you have little moss patches on the floor, but then there's like this definite resistance to the fountain. But if there's water in the troughs, then it's like, well, that's a little counterintuitive, right? Yes, moss doesn't have to grow in the water. So, hey, let's try this. Instead of troughs, we just have like rock areas that we're growing. We're growing rocks. That's right. You heard me. Not the fountain water. Look at all the bones. I don't have like these are all paths. That's the only rock wall I have, really? Ooh. You got a rock border. And one with moss. Kind of wanted a rock wall, though. Kind of like this, but... Alright, let's see. doom, 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 doom. I'm trying to think. That's a little extreme. But what are these? Gravestones and a snow cone. Ah. I do have broken versions of this, so we could. Yeah. I got. The brain is cooking something. I don't know if it's any good or not, but it's cooking something. Oh, this may be even better. I can't. Or can I? If I just put that there. No, I can't just stretch it. It has to scale. Brrr. I can't distort it. Alright, well. Poopy. There goes that idea. Because I was thinking we could have that. Then make a long one. And then we got these nice broken pieces right here. And then we could make it look like it broke, right? Typically what you do with broken pieces. And then that you have this dead spot right here. Unfortunately, not going to work. Well, that's nice. But again, I mean, I guess you could use... Alright, hang on. One more asset pack here. Caves and cliffs. This might have some trickery I can do with it. Go back to paths. Well, no. Maybe. Hang on. No, that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Alright. The idea was there. Yeah. Didn't realize I had a wall of bones I could use. Very good. Terrain. Maybe. Maybe. I do like that floor. I probably would use that for the whole thing. Oh my goodness. That's pretty nice for her. So maybe that should be smooth stone. Gotta do it this way. It does. Alright. Maybe we might do that. Because then, if I wanted to, yeah, I could put a little thing of water right there. So that's cool. This is why it takes me so long to make an adventure. Oh, goodness. Alright. Let's mirror this, essentially. Okay, I still have it selected. That is backwards. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That worked out. Perfecto. Alright. Well, that runs into the water issue again. Never mind. It's a very round bowl. Oh, cut stone. Brick. No, but I'm making progress, and I think this is going to look all right. As far as giving clues and stuff goes. Oops, that's not where rocks go. I hope. What? I guess we'll see. Once it's done, we'll see how good it looks. Yeah. All right. Give me some of that swamp stuff. Mouse. I guess the mouse needs to be green. And see, this is not that it matters, but it's going to irritate me. Like, those are the same. Yeah, that's the exact same thing as that, but it's shaded differently. That one's part of the rock. It's the little details, man. It's fine. It's fine. I'm thinking I don't want any moss on the statue. Unintentional water spots. So the idea is they're recessed ponds. No, this is actually up. This is a raised thing. I'm not gonna put water on here. They're just. And that actually, now that I said it out loud, that makes sense, because this is the room where they sheltered or farmed moss, for lack of better words, and this was the water they used to pour all over it and keep it growing at the proper rate or whatever, instead of just flooding it. So what I'm going to do is this left side, this west side, far away from the fountain, is obviously going to be covered in moss, and then I'm just going to put a little moss here and there on these, and less and less and less as it gets closer. So by the time I get done, it should look like there's a radius around this fountain that the moss is refusing to get close to. So, oop. It's the water because, no. Nope, that's actually just raised stone platform pedestal thing. I could see, yeah, so probably mustache. That is probably the same pattern used for waves, and they just colored it to make it look like a cliffside. And technically it's supposed to be a cliff side, but that's the best I could do for making something look like a raised wall. Yeah, I tell you what might help though, mustache. Let's try this. If I go to path, it's in here somewhere. Yeah, if we go... that... I'll straighten it out, but... that might help it look like it's raised a bit. I just need to make it a little more better. I do it here and lock. See, I don't like how it's getting on my terrain. Alright, we're gonna have to freewheel it here. Yeah, yeah. Maybe that's a little helpful. I was really hoping those other asset packs would have some stone barrier. I had one asset pack a while ago, but it was that high detailed stuff I didn't like, but it did have a stone garden wall in it. It was kind of nice. I miss it. I don't know what else would have. Oh, there's my flooring system. So I did say that. Oh, perfect. Getting distracted. Yeah. Don't know what would have that. See, all I have is pathways. I don't think I could trick you into thinking that's a barrier. So, cliffside it is. Alright. Now, back to the moss. On my stone. Moss and stone. Alright. So, let's start. And then I could, like, really just start slapping on some extra moss here. Make them look like they're covered. Extra mousy. So mousy. Yeah. Heard you like moss, so we put some moss on your moss. Geez, mustache, I was gonna ask, when you gonna run some games on my channel, but you're leaving for 3 weeks. So I guess the answer is never. I don't know what you know how to run other than Open Legends. Bet you know a thing or two. Couple tricks up the sleeves. A one-shot pretty, yeah, but a one-shot of what? You gotta bring me some new games, man. I don't know how to play Open Legend. I acknowledge I played it, but I don't know how to play. I was pretty lost. 2E D&D. Ew. D&D. Well, I feel like I should play early versions of D&D, or earlier editions, something other than 5e. So when one of the old farts is like, wow, 3 was better, I'm like, yeah, I agree. But I still don't like it, but it was better. Don't they get like more complicated the farther back they go, though? Alright, I gotta get rid of these. These are gonna bother me. Boop. Let's see. Little mouse there. And a little mouse here. Uh, 2E was pretty complicated, and so was 3. 3.5 is where Pathfinder came from. Oh, well, so what's the difference between Pathfinder 1 and Pathfinder 2? Because I heard Pathfinder 1 was pretty bad, like, just for being complex, but I have played 2E, and it's far too much for me. Killer kobolds from outer space. That sounds like a good time. I think I want to do like these little just patches like it fell off. Blah. Shriveling up and dying. Pathfinder 1 is bad because it has so many releases. 2E worked to resolve them, but it's still pretty common. So many releases? Well, what do you mean, like patches? Wouldn't want to do Pathfinder 2E in person with that. But yeah, I don't. Like when I was... The campaign I was in with Jacob wrapped up last week. I don't... I still just have no idea what was going on in that game. Because, like, there's so many different conditions you can get and things to keep up with. Is insane. And granted, we were high level, but still. Tagline for Killer Kobolds from Outer Space. Harvest humanity with brutal BFG style. Alright, well. This is sounding like an alright time. Yeah, Yeah, that's because they're pretty close. So let's go down here. Dress these guys up. Killer kobolds from outer space. Let's do that. And maybe just a little bit here and there. Player PDF. All right. I have to look at that. I'm trying to get Wes to run me some Shadow Dart, because that's something I need to play. Need to experience Shadow Dart. And technically I should probably play Daggerheart, but I don't wanna. I really don't wanna. How am I gonna make this look like it's coming down? Seems interesting. See, I'm just... I didn't like read line for line for line. I just kind of skimmed through it, and I get that a lot of TTRPGs are inspired by other TTRPGs and use mechanics from them and stuff, but like, you know, usually they have their own flavor to an extent. I really don't like the way that looks. But that one, man, like as I was reading it, I was like, oh, it's just that. It's just this other thing, but with extra roll. Oh, that's just so-and-so, but with an extra roll. It really sounded like they wanted to just be powered by the apocalypse, but couldn't bring themselves to do it. Little loss of identity. I did see that old Professor Dungeon Master had an interview with Matt Mercer and, you know, that one guy that is also on that show. I watched like 5 minutes of it, maybe. One of like the first question was, did Wizards of the Coast pay you? And they're like, no, no, no. Of course not. That's silly. Ooh. Let's do... Yeah. That's what I want right there. That's some good stuff right there, yeah. Do not trust critical... Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a... Not to sound like a millennial or a hippie or whatever. You're like, well, it's a corporation, of course you can't trust them, but like... It's just kind of the way it goes, right? They're gonna say whatever makes them the most money. So, if the old Matt Mercer got up there and said, oh yeah, they're paying us money, Of course they're paying us. That's why we didn't play Daggerheart. It wouldn't be a good look. And there's, at the end of the day, there's just more money to be made with D&D than Daggerheart. And, you know, for all we know, bringing on... They could have never had the intention to use Daggerheart, and bringing on Brennan Lee Mulligan was the smoke screen just for that. Just so they'd have an excuse. Like, it could be that far-fetched. Or it could be Brennan Lee Mulligan was just like, Daggerheart sucks. Or he could have just been like, no, I am more comfortable with D&D. And there's something to be said for that, because it's a show. He's got to think quick on his feet and all that. I'm getting a little carried away with the moss, I think. Nah, I think it looks just right. Tell man, this is some good looking mouse. There's good interview questions and bad ones, like NDAs exist, that's true and stuff. So there's some things people can't say. It's like asking WWE people, did you take this legal performance enhancing drug? No. If you say less, or that if you say yes, could you land in jail? Yeah, we probably won't know until that. I don't think we'll ever know unless there's like a whistleblower or something. But like, I will admit, no matter how you cut it, going through all that stink for Daggerheart and then not playing it is not a good look for your own system. But that said, you can probably dig up some messages from me somewhere saying I don't think Daggerheart's gonna make it anyway. Like after a couple years, I think it's just gonna be... I mean, obviously it's gonna outperform most indie games. But like, I don't think anybody's gonna be playing it in a few years. It's gonna be a very small crowd. It's not going to be drawing in the money that was put into it, that's for sure. Even if doing sideshows, are they at least doing that? I am trying way too hard with this moss. I'm getting a little lost in the sauce, man. Give me enough time and I will make World Shapers more popular than Daggerheart, because I do not give up. Well, that's all well and good, Blaze, but you need money, and they had billions of it. Whereas I say that, but then there's Shadow Dark. That just... I don't want to say, oh, she got lucky, you know, and made $1 million. Like, she put a ton of work into that, but there was still that luck element. Peter explained it very well the other day. I think it was the night we were all celebrating his Kickstarter success when it hit the 100% mark. I'm trying to remember, how did he word it? He's like, there was hard work, but it was the willingness and the hard work when luck came around for you. Like, you had to do the work once luck knocked on your door. And that's the frustrating part, right? You can do all the work in the world, but you still gotta get lucky. Wizards of the Coast will never buy me. They are doing smaller runs of the shows. Okay, well that will help significantly. I didn't know they were doing that, but still weird. They haven't done much with Candle. Yeah, whatever happened to that? Wasn't Candle Obscura something they made? Because see, I thought that was going to be the new Critical Role game, and then Daggerheart got announced, and then I was like, well, I'm just confused, and I don't really care, so... timing luck can be a big thing. You're a secret millionaire, Blaze. Oh no, well hey, you wanna You want to fund me a little bit? Friend, buddy, old pal? If Wizards of the Coast wants to give you $1 million, you might be tempted. I tell you, as on that note, like, not like it's gonna happen, but I would be terrified if Disney came up to me and wanted to buy Kesho Knight Legends or something, or made an offer, because it's like, okay, obviously I don't want to sell to you, but what are you gonna do to me if I say no? Like, are you gonna kill off Kesho Knight somehow? Drowned me out? And that's the world we live in. Funding you with those $10 per month. That's true. You are a buy me a coffee subscriber. You're my only one. My one and only. You believe in my art, my stick figures. Man, speaking of art, I sure like the art Mrs. the Sheriff, Peter's wife, made for Nuts. Those are great. Hey, what's with the lie? It says Blazes. Oh, that's right. He's still in the description, isn't he? Some lazy copy paste. Well, the bad part is, yes, it was a copy paste, but it had Dave in there, so I went through there and edited and took out Dave because I knew we wouldn't be here today. I think when I set it up, I still thought Blaze was going to be here, and then Blaze told me sometime today he was still ill and wasn't going to make it, so I did not go back and fix it. My bad. I'm a bad YouTuber. I'm a bad YouTuber. He's so bad. Getting a little tired of looking at moss, I'll tell you that. That's alright though. I see I also have my fans, but my... You do have your fans, but your throat couldn't handle 2 hours of talking. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what you got, but if your throat's sore, that's... Talking's no bueno. Yeah, you got sick at the beginning of this week, too. You gone to the doctor yet? Got checked out? You might need to. You know, some of that German healthcare you got over there. I'm not jealous. You're jealous. Your father is a doctor. Well, you know what, Blaze? I could kick you out of this stream, I would. Moss everywhere. The players won't even notice. Why? You're over there like, my dad's a doctor. Though, I guess, I don't know, in Germany, how does that work? Do you have mad doctor money in Germany? Or is that just an American thing? I knew a lady from Russia, and she was in the medical side of things, and she said doctors didn't make beans. So you gotta place each little thing of moss very carefully so it looks natural. I know, Blaze, I'm just picking on you. Does that count as a sick note for work? If you say your dad checked you out instead of going to the actual doctor's office? Do they even require doctor notes in Germany? Or they're just like, nah, you're sick, stay home. We don't want you to work. Get better. Take care of yourself. Whereas here, if you're sick, they're like, prove it. I want you to vomit on the floor right now. Blaze is still a secret millionaire. Okay, alright. And Robux, or Roblox bucks? Robux? Robux, that's it. I got there. That took way longer than it should have. I still need to put some on the wall here. You can get 2 days sick without a doctor's note any longer, and you need a doctor's note. My dad indeed give me one for 4 days. Got to work tomorrow. Oh yeah, for 1 day and then it's the weekend? How terrible. How terrible. Blaze ain't gonna hang out with me anymore. I keep picking on him. There we go. I still feel like, you know what? I'm gonna have it kind of dripping off over here. Just a smidgens. You've been enjoying this vacation, to be honest? I've been way too stressed. The sickness forced me to stop with everything for a few days. Yeah. I've never been one to take many vacations. But boy, I have been wanting one recently. Been getting a hankering, as they say. The need. The problem is, kind of a one-man show over here. I can't get anybody to take my place. I keep saying, though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get somebody to make a video for me. Could be Mustache, could be you, could be Peter, just somebody, just something silly. And I'm not going to tell anybody I'm going on vacation, and then that person's video is going to show up on my channel, and they're going to try and do a video like mine without saying anything to anybody. No warning, no nothing. Just pretend like it's been their channel the whole time. You keep trying to get me to go. I don't know. Let's see, I want to go on like big vacations, like cruises. See, my favorite thing about the cruise is like once the boat gets out on the water, your cell phone just stops working. And it's like, all right, well, I'm so many miles out in sea, I can contact nobody. If my house is on fire, it doesn't matter. I will never know. So I'm just completely disconnected at that point. And it's nice. And then you get back and have 5,000 messages waiting for you, but that's not the point. I think I just need another rock right here, honestly. Oh, let me make that gray. Rock. Mouse. And we gotta flip that back to gray. Yeah, else we're gonna be putting gray slop on there. I guess I could have been changing the color. Yeah, it's all right. Some screaming birds out there. All right, I think that's goodly. Cruises are overrated. Also, they do have internet, so you're not. Well, they do, but I'm not paying for it. They want a lot of money for very slow internet. I think cruises are pretty nice. See, they work good for me, and I'm done map making. I'm gonna wind down so we can have a big view of outside here. So the reason I like cruises is because it's just this one upfront lump sum, and then you're done. You get on the boat, your room's taken care of like a hotel room, and they take care of it multiple times a day. Like you walk out of it to go do something, you come back, it's been cleaned and made again. The food is almost 24/7 available, and there's like the one me and Glee went on. Their what do you call this? Their buffet all day kind of buffet thing they had available that wasn't a specialty restaurant. Like it had a wide berth of food to choose from, and it was different every day. Like it was a very widespread, so it didn't get redundant. So whenever you're hungry, you just get up and go eat, and it's already all paid for. But the biggest thing I think probably my favorite part about cruises, at least the ones I have gone on, they've all been down through the Caribbean, and you make 3 to 5 stops in a week, depending on which cruise you do. So, you know, in one day you're in Mexico, one day you're in Jamaica, one day you're in the Cayman Islands, one day you're in Belize. Like, I like that instead of going somewhere and being there for 5 days straight or something. Keeps my little squirrel brain entertained. Because like I love Belize. Me and Gully went there. Almost called her Gully, like Belize. We went to, that was one of the stops on the cruise, and that was by far our favorite place that we stopped at. But like, if I had been there more than a day or two, I would have got bored. So. But it was pretty nice. It might have taken a couple days for that one. And then like Jamaica, I enjoyed seeing it. I absolutely would not want to stay there. But it was a good stop for the day. So you spend it, you know, the boat gets there super early in the morning usually. So when you wake up, you go out on the island, do the thing, and then you come back for like late dinner, and then boat toots off again to the next stop. So that's what I like. And like I said, just everything being taken care of you and being pretty disconnected. Been to Belize many times, so I wasn't at the nice areas much working at children's. I was also, yeah. That's the other nice thing about cruises. You go to the very nice, safe spots. All these places. Sometimes that can work against you, you know, a little touristy, but I don't know. I like the cruise boats because, like I said, everything's just done, taken care of for you. I don't have to worry about anything. And like, that one me and Glee I went on, that food was really, really good. Whereas I went on Carnival once, actually twice, a long time ago. And then the free, air quotes, are doing a lot of heavy lifting there because you pay for it. But that buffet that was open all day, every day, like it had the same stuff every day and was not the best. They really wanted you to go to the specialty restaurants and spend more money. So... And I remember the first Carnival cruise I was on, and I don't think Norwegian did this on the one me and Glee went to. Carnival, on both cruises I did for them, they had the captain's dinner on the first day, and that's where everybody dressed up super duper nice and went to this one of the, you know, the really fancy restaurants on there and got a free meal, and the captain went around and waved and shook everybody's hand or whatever. So I went to that the first time. I had to dress up and everything. And, you know, they had all these fancy dishes like lobster and everything. I kid you not, one of the entrees you could get was fried chicken and mashed potatoes with gravy. And of course that's what I got because that was about the only thing on the menu I recognized and or knew how to read. So it's like, yeah, I'm all dressed up for fried chicken and mashed potatoes. That's good though. Some pretty tasty fried chicken. Potatoes were so-so. And the gravy had no love in them, but good chicken. Me and Glee, we went to... Because that's when we just got married. And when I was doing all the paperwork and stuff and talking with the lady to get on the cruise, they were like, you know, what's the event, anniversary, whatever. I was like, oh, we just got married, we're celebrating. And they gave us the choice of like, oh, do you want this or this? And I got the meal at a restaurant of our choice and like some free cake that night. My hair was not slicked back, no. And the most dressed up I could get Glee was like a button-up shirt tucked in. That was it. So it was wildly uncomfortable. I hated it. Never seen this man in anything other than a t-shirt or a work polo. I was as dressed up for that meal as I was when we got married. Which might sound like I was wildly overdressed for that meal or wildly underdressed for our wedding. Do not recommend Carnival though. That's you can't call it a low budget cruise line because it's still very expensive, but like it is the bottom of the barrel. And you get the bottom of the barrel crowd. Like I mentioned it to Glee many times too while we were on the Norwegian cruise line. I was like, there is just, despite sailing out of the same port, night and day difference in the clientele. Like it was insane. Everybody was behaving and quiet. It was very nice. Way more chill to stay at home, and if you are too lazy to cook, go out for dinner. Yeah. Considering I wore that shirt of yours for a Western-themed party. You did, didn't you? So... I will say, Blaze, while I do want to go on a cruise, lately I have been... I mean, I always enjoy a cabin in the woods doing nothing, but that urge has really been hitting lately. It's like, oh man, I just want to go. But I want to go deep woods. Like there might be a bear I have to worry about. That's how far in I want to go. I don't want one of those faux cabins where, you know, you got 20 other cabins right around you. The Smoky Mountain cabins. I don't want that. Home and play online with friends always sounds appealing to me. I mean, yeah, but that's what I do all day, every day anyway. But maybe not play, but I am home all the time. Though admittedly, I do really like just staying home. It is nice. If I could somehow just not have responsibilities for a week, I would absolutely stay home. Just read a book or two. The land up in the Ozarks, yeah. You gotta get me up there. I'm jealous. Old Whispering Wisp from the Discord. He took a cruise and went up to Alaska recently. See, if I had the money and the ability to not have responsibility for that long, I would love to take the cruise up to Alaska that's 30 days long. You wouldn't be able to get me off of that boat by the end of it. Just be like, this is my new home. Oh man. Anyway. I got too much going on to be taking vacations, though. It's sad. Because I was just talking to somebody about this recently. I even drew them a map and everything. All the stuff I got going on. I got an audiobook that I'm working on with Sage. And then the second book, doing all the structural editing for that. Going through that process, which then goes into the line edit, which then goes into the copy edit, which then goes into production. We're actually proofing and then production. And then there's Moss and Stone. And then there's Nuts. And then there's the YouTube channel itself. And there's probably some other things. Oh, yeah, and the fact that I might be getting a job in the near future. You know, there's that too. Not enough time during the day. I just need to sleep less. They need to invent a way to do away with sleep. Then I'd be fine. Assuming I didn't go insane. Oh, and I've also been, trying to find an artist. That was the other thing. For the YouTube channel. That has not been going too well. Or well, I found a lot of cool artists, but nothing that I wanted for the channel. A Jarb? Yeah, so I think I've mentioned this before, somewhere. The Uberman sleep cycle, I don't know what that is. But as far as the job, the editor I work with, has been developing a business of editing, and she wants to break into the ttrpg space. Well, ttrpg, choose your own adventure kind of game space. So I might be coming on board for that. So you basically sleep every 4 hours for 20 minutes. Okay. I've never heard it called Uberman sleep cycle, but I have heard of that. And I have been very tempted to try that. Because it's like, you know, if I lay down for 30 minutes and take a nap, I feel great. So it's like, What if I just keep doing that? You tried it for a few months. How did it go? Did you lose your sanity? So let's see. Let's do a little math. How does that work? All right. How do you figure this out? So that would be times. You'd get 2 hours of sleep a day doing that. Did I math that right? If that worked, that would be insane, because then you're like, man, I've been sleeping 8 hours a day my whole life. Only needed 2. I used to run off 5. It kind of worked. You also have a lot of trouble sleeping, though, so it might have been beneficial for you. Whereas me, I can go at night, I lay down in the bed, I'm out for 8 hours, I'm done. It has drawbacks. You gotta sleep for 20 hours straight after a week of it or something. Lose all the progress you made. Oh, we did loop this. Oh. Big trouble falling asleep. You'll probably burn more than just 20 minutes to get to 20 minutes sleep. Yeah. Well, I don't know. After so long, you might fall asleep instantly. Scrat just dislikes the concept of sleeping, not that he has difficulty. Yeah, no, I sleep fine. I hate sleeping because I'm not doing anything. Waste of time. Iron discipline, because the first minute after standing up, your body screams for you to lie down. Once you overcome that minute, you feel refreshed. Tend to eat more because you get hungry now. Well, and you're just up more too. That's like a whole other meal you have to consume. I don't know. Like, you know, that might work, but then at the same time, it's like, well, you know, if you work out, diet right, and figure out how to sleep good in those 8 hours, you can probably be more productive the 16 you're awake, and you'd get the same result. Start to yearn just to lay down. You're not really tired, but still, yeah. Well, you know, your whole life you've been sleeping at night for however many hours, so that's just a wild thing to break from. You're not selling this well. Before Gen Con hit and I got really sick, I was getting in a much better workout routine and noticed I was needing less sleep. Once I got over the, oh, I'm working out, now I need more sleep. But that all went to pot after Gen Con and I got ill for 3 weeks straight. It is not always easy to find a place to sleep every 4 hours. Yeah, that's the other thing. If you do not sleep after you start getting really dry. Yeah, that's what I need to get out for here. But before I do, that is what really drove me crazy about having a job and like having to go to the office. It's so hard to live a healthy lifestyle when you have to sit in an office 8 hours a day, at least 8 hours a day. Getting sick throws so much off. It does. It really does. But yeah, like, because you can't, your food options are limited, and golly, just your spine is at the mercy of the chair they want to provide you, and you usually can't get up and go work out and things like that. It's nuts. At least the jobs I had, like, they were very detrimental to your health. And then when I finally got to leave my job and stay home, like my health improved dramatically. Jobs are stupid. Office hours are just not good. It needs to be done away with. You know, I'll be the boomer in the room, but like, I agree remote work is the way to go. But then I see all these people in various Discords just hanging out in voice chats, and I'm like, don't y'all work? And they're like, yeah, but I don't have anything to do at the moment, or yeah, technically I'm at work. It's like, okay, y'all are the reason I never got to work remotely. Playing games all day. So, Scrat's being a boomer. But the 8 to 5 is stupid. It really is. And like I said, all the jobs I had, like, I say 8 to 5, they were much longer than that, but they were, your butt has to be in that chair or at that workstation that whole day, and you are not allowed to leave. Like, you get your 30-minute lunch or whatever, but not really a break. Boomer. Yeah, I know. You just do chores when working remote. Well, saying that, like, that gets you moving. That's something to do. And gives your brain a break too, and that keeps you from having to, you know, like, okay, I worked Monday through Friday, now I got to spend all day Saturday doing all the house stuff, and then Sunday I'm just going to not exist for a day. Or do the outside part of the house stuff. It is just about getting work done. Some people aren't good at self-managed too, though. Yeah. Yep. It's a mess. I had some crappy jobs. That was a bit of a harsh awakening, realizing how bad my jobs were once I left. Saw some of the jobs Glee had and that my brother got, and then some of the other folks out there. It's just like, man, mine sucked. Like homeschooling only takes 1 to 2 hours to do all your school stuff. Usually that is done over 6 hours of school because you are focused on. Yep, I was homeschooled. Outside chores knock me out. Can't do that during the week. Yeah, I didn't. It took me more than 1 to 2 hours. Usually math alone took an hour or more. But it paid off. But the rest of the stuff, yeah, you could just breeze through it. And that's why I was able to work full-time hours when I was a teenager and still do my schoolwork. I say, even though in today's video I said I failed history class. I didn't actually, but I am really bad at history. You go outside? Prefer office life over home office? Home office. Yeah, Blaze is a social butterfly. He likes people. You have gleeful Kraken keeping you company during your home? Not really. She just stays back in her office. I might see her during the day. Well, that's not true. She'll come back here every time she has a meeting or something happens, and she'll tell me about it. Have you touched grass? You do interrupt him about every hour. She does. Drives me nuts. Can't get nothing done. Mustache is an introvert. I don't know if I believe that. You get to see her in the evening. Sometimes. She just stays back there playing games like Stardew and Dinkum and Animal Crossing. Slay the Spire. Dude, when Slay the Spire 2 comes out, I could start a whole new family with children and everything, and she would never notice, probably. She's gonna be glued to that thing. Also the love sword to barge in and then leave. Yeah. Reminder that she exists. You're making Blaze jealous. It's because if my train of thought gets interrupted, it's very hard to start it back up. You may as well be a bachelor when Slay Spires 2 drops. Yeah, I told you this. You're gonna have to drop a bag of popcorn back there for her every now and then, so she'll get something in her. Slay the Spire. I can't do those card games. I just... Not for me, man. Well, it's almost 2:30. My goodness, we went over. Just chatting and hanging out. That's all right. That's what this is for. Got a little bit of a map made. Technically, I could work on these off stream, but as you just heard, I got a lot of other things. We didn't get very far, did we? I guess we did lay the foundation out for everything, though. We got our skeleton. We're dressing it up. See, this is where Jacob was supposed to do his part, and I was going to be working on the actual book. So, but now I got to do both. This is the part I'm super slow at. Well, I got lost in the moss. That's it. Lost in the moss. I like it. I like that, and set in moss instead of stone. Yeah, my schedule's a bit of a mess. Like I said, I'm trying to get Wes to run me some Shadow Dart. Maybe I can get Mustache to... It's already corrupting me. Maybe I can get Mustache to run us something on the channel. I am running a game this weekend, but it's offline. I'm gonna be corrupting my editor and showing her how ttrpgs work and all that, so that'll be fun. A little offline thing, but I'd like to get some more streams on new games. I think I'm going to lean into reviews more with the occasional, like, hey, here's a look at initiative systems, here's a look at some mechanics, you know, kind of thing, but we'll see. Do you want to get some more game streams going? So, Mustache, if you got something. Of course, you did send me something, so I will look at that. Bother Wes, bother some more people. We'll see. So, until I figure something out, I will either see you then, or see you in the next video. Bye-bye.